Hi everybody, this is Ash from Airlocks. Here to talk about, for the second time, my Classic Army FAL SA-58 Airsoft replica. I previously reviewed this, but I wanted to do an updated review. I actually deleted my old review on this video, old video on this gun. So anyways, so this is my Classic Army SA-58 FAL. In other words, it's a modern FAL in the real world. It is an AEG. I've had it for 2 years. I've used it in about 3 games, and it's a lovely, lovely airsoft gun. Probably my second favorite airsoft gun that I own, behind my ACR. And so anyways, I'm kind of biased, but I will try my best to do a honest review of this airsoft replica. So that said, just to go over some of the statistics that I found out of the box. So I got this thing in December of 22. It shot 405 FPS, or about 1.5 joules. That was with a 0.2 gram BB. Out of the box, it shot probably about 175 feet accurately, and it could lift 3.3 gram BBs without much difficulty at all. That's what I would recommend out of the box. That or 2/8. However, I only did one upgrade to this gun, and that is a simple R-hop and tight bore inner barrel setup, because basically that's just a flat hop nub, the modify flat hub nub and bucking combo, which is about $15 on Evike. And then I also bought a pre-installed R-hopped barrel from I want to say Lambda actually. Could be wrong on that. It could have been a Prometheus barrel that I bought. However, nonetheless, it took about 10 minutes to install. It's actually quite a simple disassembly, which I'll go over in just a second. But anyways, that simple upgrade allowed probably at least another 50 feet to this gun's effective range, and I used 0.32 gram BBs. Probably could use 0.36s too, and squeeze a little bit more range out of this. But 0.32s, it can shoot 225 feet accurately in its current build. It still shoots about 400 FPS. Fire rate I use a 7.4 LiPo. I would recommend the same. It does not have a MOSFET or any electronics, no fancy electronics at all. It's pretty basic under the hood in the gearbox. So I would recommend just a 7.4 LiPo, but with the fire rates probably around 700 rounds per minute, which I want to say is 13 or 14 rounds a second, which is more than adequate in my opinion. Trigger response isn't terrible either if you have to go semi-auto only. So those are more or less the statistics of this replica. The biggest downside, I'd say, of this platform really is the lack of magazines. Their high caps are becoming more, in the recent years, are actually becoming more available. The mid caps are very few and far between. The only retailer that I know that sells them firsthand is Taiwan Gun. They sell an off-brand mid cap. There's a couple other people out there that sell mid caps, but I personally really like the look of this 1,000 round high cap magazine. It is a extended magazine. Of course, in the real world, this would be a 30 round clip magazine. I just love the look. It reminds me of the Modern Warfare 2 FAL. Well, starting on the externals, this has a steel, I'm pretty sure it's steel flash hider right here, painted orange on the top, very nice looking. It has these threads, basically, not really threads, but like ports basically. I've not tried to remove it. I honestly don't think I don't want a suppressor on it, and I don't want to scratch the paint. It also has a sling loop, of course. Your gas in the real world, in the real life rifle, adjustable gas system. It would have a front sight post. You might be able to see, but my front sight post got shot out during one of my airsoft games. The BB must have shot it head on and snapped it right off. Anyways, you're probably going to want to use a sight for this gun, but nonetheless, a metal front sight post. Then your actually, I believe this is your gas adjusting, roller right here, and this would be for suppressed or unsuppressed on the real rifle. Then you have your polymer handguard, very nice feeling polymer handguard in my opinion. There's a seam down the top and the bottom. But it's very nice feeling polymer. It's got some texture to it. It's certainly it's not too shiny. It's not too smooth as some polymers are, or it does not feel cheap, in other words. Then moving down to the front of the receiver, you have your charging handle, which is I want to say this is, actually, you know what? This is plastic. Another hard, really nice polymer charging handle right there. Of course, this part though, this grayish color is a polymer, or actually no, it's metal. This the actual charging handle. There's other component to it at least. And then on the other side of the gun, you'll find the what is it called? The port that where the shells would come out in the real world rifle. But then you just pull back on the charging handle, and you're revealing your rotary style hop up. And this would probably be one of my biggest pros of this gun, is its hop up design. Much like the SIG series of rifles or G3 series of rifles, this has a rotary style, and it's quite a nice rotary style. It's very pinpoint, or precise I should say, rotary style hop up. It actually comes with a metal one, but I exchanged it for a plastic one. And they're basically say the same. They do the same job. I still have another backup one. Anyways, besides the point, to release the bolt, you just push down on this bolt release right here. Oops, and it'll send the bolt forward. I kind of blocked it, but with my finger. But I want to show you guys. This actually makes quite a nice sound when you release the bolt. If you could pick this up on the camera, I'm just gonna shut up for a second. As you might be able to hear, it makes a nice clunk, or a nice click in when you release the bolt, in my opinion. Back on the right side of the gun, you'll find this this screw right here. This also exists on the left side of the gun. To actually disassemble this gun, you screw both of these screws out, and your upper and lower receiver separates. Your upper receiver will consist of the mag well, and of course this whole basically anything above, let's see if you can kind of see the line right there. Anything above that line and above, along with this entire magazine well, is all going to be part of the upper receiver. Of course, along with the barrel too. The entire barrel assembly is part of the upper receiver. The lower receiver will consist of the smooth portion of the gun, along with the pistol grip, and then the entirety of the stock and the rear sight, which is also metal. This rear sight is metal. It's a nice feeling metal. Speaking of the stock, it's a nice, almost the exact same, if not the exact same kind of polymer as the handguard is. It's nice full stock. You can get a lot of space for your battery. And then a rubber butt pad, which also is a nice feeling rubber in my opinion. And then one of my favorite things actually is the pistol grip of this replica is probably the same material polymer as the handguard in stock. And I've owned 2 JG models of the SA58 with the key mod handguard, and the biggest improvement over that model is, or one of the biggest improvements, is the pistol grip. In this version is really nice feeling polymer, where the other JG models I've owned has been a very cheap feeling plastic. So along with just the whole gun just feels so much better than the JG models, which are also synonymous with the 6mm Pro Shot models. They're the same thing, made by JG. The sight, of course, this top part is, now I did a magnet test. I don't think I have one here in front of me to just kind of see if they're different metals. the magnet stuck to the upper receiver, and it did not stick to the lower receiver, which makes me believe that the upper and lower are made of two different types of metal, whatever the type might be. They're both very strong feeling metals. Both the receivers, or upper and lower, are very smooth. It's a very smooth metal. So as you might know, some metals could be coarse and other, but it's a very smooth and nice feeling metal, both on the upper and lower. It's not really shiny. The JG model's a little bit darker color than this model is, and it's more shiny than this model is, in my opinion. That would be the metal on the JG models. With that said, this replica retails for about $300. It can go on sale for about $260, or as low as $260. And honestly, I think it's worth the price, especially at $260. I mean, you get a very unique replica. I mean, this is, how often do you see FALs or SA58s on the airsoft field? I could probably count the amount of times I've seen an SA58 or FAL on the airsoft field with both my hands, probably. And I've played over 150 games of airsoft in my life. So, needless to say, the SA58 or just the FAL is a very rare replica to find, and oftentimes I get a lot of good looks about it. People ask about what it is, and someone want to shoot it and so forth. So, and plus, the SA58, the FAL, they look such a cool looking gun. If you're looking at the FALs, you think they're cool looking guns. Why else would you buy one? Not to mention, it's a good airsoft gun, truly. I own 25 replicas at the moment, and out of the box, this is certainly one of the better replicas that I've gotten. So my overall thoughts of this gun is, even for $300, it is really worth it. And you don't find things this high quality, of this level of uniqueness for that price. Usually this thing, honestly, this thing we could probably get away with selling this for retailers could probably get away with selling this for $400 and still be able to sell these things. Is really what I would think this is worth, given its quality and its external and internal quality, and the fact that it's an FAL, which there's only maybe three or four, not retailers, but 3 or 4 manufacturers that make FALs. That being Classic Army, JG, you got your Ares SLR, you have the King Arms FAL coming back, then of course you have the VSC FAL, the gas blowback one. So there's, that's 4, 5 manufacturers that make these kind of guns. So anyways, in my closing thoughts is, I really hope to see more these, especially the Classic Army FAL, which is such a high quality gun. So thanks for watching if you made it this far. Hope to see some of you out on the airsoft field in the coming spring season and summer, and eventually the autumn. So take care. Bye-bye.